Yeah, I'm showing up in a minute. Well, we must be there now. So are we on Facebook Live? I believe we are. Hello, everybody. This is Hunter Pascal. Is it on? Oh, I got my girl up there. We must be on somewhere because I see myself chatting on live Facebook. Now I got to get to my Zoom. So hang in there, guys. I'm with you. I'm with you. We haven't lost you. So basically, launched the meeting. Am I live? So unfortunately, I can't see myself anywhere except for on this Facebook page. I know it's not there. All right, so where did I screw up this time? Gee, Monique, I can screw up I'm not going to say that.
Okay. Oh, you're already in a meeting.
I'm already in a meeting.
Go down here and see. Find your meeting. Oh.
It's the big Zoom button is what it is. Oh, this is amazing for me to do this over and over again, 3 years in a row. Not Zoom. Zoom's new, right? 5 years old. Anyway, this is Hunter Pascal. Welcome to Transactional Tuesday. We're going to pick up where we left off last Tuesday. Friday, Debbie and I were down in West Palm Beach interviewing Delray Beach, actually, not West Palm, interviewing one of our students down there that is taking action, decided to take action, and decided to get some results. And that's how it works. If you take action, you get results. And in any business, you have to take action. But the key is to take the correct action, right? The correct action to getting your goal, to getting what you want, getting the results that you need to move forward. And we just wanted to follow up with you from last Tuesday. We talked about a transaction that we got that was, there was a forbearance or loan modification. Actually, this one went through the loan modification program. And the client contacted us and said, hey, is there anything you can do? I just got my loan modified and I can't pay my first payment. And I said, well, interesting. Yeah, send us the information. So they sent us the information. The address is 114 No Name Key in DeLand, Florida. And the actual property wasn't behind on payments, but it had a loan modification. So it had been behind on payments. And we needed to catch up the payments, or we needed to create something system. So what there's called a loan modification. That's where the lender will take the seller or take the debtor mortgage, balance, conditions, ability to repay, and calculate a new payment for them. And it's usually on principals, usually on interest payments, not on the principal. So it's on the interest rates, not on principal. Now, there's been some in principal in the past in 08, and it may happen again in 2021. But right now, the banks are still seeking all the money they can get because that's what they're in business for, right? The loan money, get interest rates, get payments, get the spread, the yield spread, so they can make a little money. They're using your money that's in the bank. If you have money in the bank, shame on you. Not really shame on you, it means you've done well, but we need to do something with that money because I know money sitting in the bank's paying what, 0.5%, you know? So if you have any kind of real money, play money, get it out of the bank and get it operating, getting it going. So that's kind of what we did on this deal I'm getting ready to show you. Now, I've showed you the contracts, the agreements, and all that stuff last week. I will go back over that. But today, because it's now a done deal, meaning that we've signed the contract. So I showed you some contracts that weren't signed yet. This was a preliminary closing I showed you last Tuesday. This Tuesday, I sat with the buyers yesterday in our office. We executed all these contracts, and now they have the ability to buy this property make payments on it. But there's a few other things they wanted to do. And I want to share with you today about what happened after or at the signing table, at the closing table. And the closing table is at our office. So we have a closing room, we have notaries, we have a title company that gives us financial information, provides the documentation, closing. So we can do closings anyway. You can do real estate closings anywhere, anytime, any day now. The digital era is here. DocuSign is here. Video signings here. Video closings here. Everything is here. Blockchain is here. Crypto's here. So there's going to be a massive shift, a massive movement of real estate and money. And you need to be in there somewhere in between those two movements. Depends on which side you're on and where you're at to where you're going to pick up some coin. And I'm not talking about small coin. I'm talking about big coin, and not Bitcoin, but big coin. So, and Bitcoin. So today, I just wanted to go over it with you because I'm kind of excited. I just received a paycheck today or yesterday that most people don't even make a whole year, right? So let me say that again. I just picked up a check yesterday or cashed a check yesterday in my office that most people don't even make in 1 year's worth of work. That's right. So it's a lower average of people. That's okay. The fact is, the bigger picture is it's going to be the golden goose that laid the golden egg month after month after month after month. Now, look, we're negotiators. We're foreclosure experts, right? We're the foreclosure under negotiation. What comes out of your mouth goes into your pocket. And that's what happened on this particular deal. What came out of my mouth is going into my pocket. Now, if you want to check like the size I'm going to show you to go in your pocket, I suggest you DM us immediately. Just go ahead and take a chance. Leave your email with us so we can send you the emails. We don't have a box and we don't have a paid ad and all that stuff because we don't want to just throw ads out there and get a bunch of people opting in. We want people that really want to do business, and this is how I do business. I do business up front, person to person, and I teach it the same way. Now, also on the other side, we got your time is money. Don't waste it. Let me see if I can make this a little nicer for you so you can read. There you go. That's my little banner. Why should you use us? There's multiple reasons why you should use us. We have everything you will ever need for a short sale or a modification or lease option or subject to, or lending money, whatever you need. We got our own bank mitigators, own attorneys, title company. We can list and help you sell properties, friendly professional staff, including me. Email support throughout the transactions, fast and easy closings, websites dedicated to your support. And we will work with all the lenders, investor friendly, local market, national market, understanding all those laws, regulations. Again, you should check with your attorney, your CPA, the disclaimer. I'm telling you now, you may not get a check this size I'm going to show you on your first deal. It could be your second, third, or fourth deal, whichever. This is not my first deal, my second, third, or fourth deal. So, we've done thousands of deals, right? And this is why I want to show you this. It's legal, it's fair, it's fun, it's a good time. So we're in the middle of a COVID virus, right? Since March, we have cranked it up. It's not we cranked it up, it cranked us up. Our marketing, our not even just marketing, but the marketing we were already doing is getting more results, right? So we're a direct mail campaign company. I hear the digital world and pay-per-click and all these other techniques that you can use to get people to call you. I had a seller call me yesterday. I've been working with this seller for about a month and a half, right? And laid out the guidelines of how it's going to happen. Somebody living in the house, they inherited the house. And now they're seeking to sell the house, but they had to go through the probate. So they finalized, they were in probate before we came along. They contacted us from direct mail market. They didn't contact us from going on Google or going into real estate or Zillow and all that. They contacted us because we contacted them. And if you don't think direct mail marketing doesn't work, try it sometime. Use our company. Rob's given 250 yellow letters for free if you're one of our partners. If you're one of our partners, Rob at the yellowlettershop.com, yellowlettershop.com. I didn't even write that down, Rob. I remembered it this time. Go see Rob. He'll give you 250 yellow letters, direct mail marketing, just to prove to you that it works. Out of 250 letters mailed, if you use our letter, if you use our techniques, if you use the list we tell you, if you do exactly how we explain to do it, you're going to get the same results that we get, or even better, or, better. That's the way it works. So I'm going to share a screen with you. I'm going to show you, first of all, I believe I set it up where I'm going to show you the property first, because last week I showed you the contracts. This week I'm going to show you the contracts and more. Okay. So we're going to do my desktop. We're going to make sure this works here. Okay. We're sharing my desktop. Let's hope this all works out perfectly. Let's don't close any of this stuff because we don't want to kick us off the meeting here. And let's go down to my desktop, and I'm going to show you the forms first. All right, let's just do the forms. I think this is where you need to start. You may not have been here 2 weeks ago, and if you were, then here you are now. And all I need is somebody to tell me they can see the forms so I can move forward and get on with this thing, get on with the show. So I think you can see the forms. I can see the forms. Michelle, can you see the forms? Michelle's not answering me. I can't see anybody on Facebook because I'm not got Facebook up. Let me go check. Let me see if I can find Facebook. You can see the form. Thank you. Got the AOK. We're good to go. Wheels up. We're taking off. We're flying. Right here is a residential lease agreement that we use. Now we use a two-base contract when we do a subject to, meaning that we're selling the property to a buyer that either could not afford a home because of their credit, right? Or they had some challenges in the past. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that because I met with the buyers yesterday personally because I want them to understand exactly what they're getting into. We went over line item by line item, explained everything. Were they scared? Heck yeah, they were scared. They didn't know who I was. They've never met me before. They talked to me one time on the phone, which we have that recording. And I can't really leave it out to the public. I use it for training purposes only. So I have it on our special website. It's called shortfixorflip.com. It's on our special website, and you have to have a special login to listen to the calls that we do, that I do, that my students do, my partners do. I've got some great calls on there, how to convert sellers with an easy conversation, with the documentation that we use. And everything I show you is everything you receive and everything, all the stuff you get trained on. So this is not a short sale, folks. This is not a long process of a short sale. This is a long process of making a big fat check up front and making, you wait till you see how much we're making each month after month after month. This is the goose with the golden egg that, yes, I could have sold this property and been done with it, made about $5,000 or $6,000. And I said, why do I want to just wholesale this, make $5,000 or $6,000 and move on and pay taxes on that? Okay. I'm going to show you why. This is what we do, or I do a little bit differently than what you would do if you found this property that already had a loan modification done. The balance on the loan of this mortgage, the balance on this loan was somewhere around $170,000, $175,000, somewhere around there. I can't remember. I should have wrote that down, the original amount. Maybe Pam will put that on there. I think she went to a doctor appointment, so she's not watching today. She did put it on last week, I think, the balance of what it was owed. And I know this because I know we paid the homeowner $10,000 to take over the property. Now, Hunter, where can I get $10,000? Hunter, you got $10,000, but what if I, the viewer, doesn't have $10,000? Well, you contact me. You contact me, and we get you in these deals, and we figure them out, and we work on them together, and we put the money up for you. So we could have put the $10,000 up for you, right? So here's what we did. On this particular deal, I discussed in our last Tuesday's Transactional Tuesday that we tried this process the first time, it didn't quite work. So I spent about $2,000 in mortgages, and I said, okay, that's enough. Matter of fact, it might not have been 2,000. It might have been just 1 month, and that cost me $1,000. So I said, you know what? I can't keep paying $1,000 on a property sitting vacant. So I need to do something different. So what did we do? We rented it out for 12 months. That's right. We rented it out for 12 months. Write this down. This is very good. Now I'm going to tell you up front, the payments on this house is $1,000 a month. That's my cost, right? Minus the 10,000 I had to put up front. So I'm already 10,000 in the hole. Interesting enough, I got all the furniture in the house because I asked for it. Got all the appliances, all the furniture. It might have been close to 10 grand, probably not. And I did not get 10,000 for all that stuff. But what I did was I had an opportunity. And here's the opportunity. So I rented the property out for $1,650 a month. I paid $1,000 a month, right? Paid $1,000 a month on the property. So I made $650 a month for the last 10 months because the tenant was building a house and they got out of the property 2 months early. So what we did was we just kept the deposit that they paid, which that was $6,500 we made on the front end. So that almost covered my $10,000 cost on the rental. And we kept another $3,000. So it was actually $9,500 I made on the rental. So that almost covered my $10,000 out of pocket upfront expense. Plus I got all the furniture, took it out of the property and gave it away, sold it, whatever I did. Probably cost me a little money doing all that. That's not a big deal. You're not worried about furniture and stuff. You're worried about the numbers, the solid numbers, the real numbers, right? So we've already made 9,500 minus the 10,000. So I'm probably into this deal for about $1,000 up front until this happens. Now, here's what we're doing today. Now you see, we dated on 10/20. This is the actual document. Last week I showed you preliminary. This week I'm showing you actual document. We did take out the buyers. Looks like we took out the owners. We took out the owner and the seller. Well, the owner of the property, well, I signed residential leases in my personal name. Why do I do that? So I don't have to hire an attorney if I have to evict somebody out of a property. So all the residential lease agreements that we do, it's either in my name, my wife's name, or whoever's house the property's in, right? Even if it's in a trust, even if it's in an LLC, whatever it's in, we always do the owner as personal. So I don't have to spend, whatever it takes to hire an attorney to do the eviction, because we've done so many, because we're property managers and we're property minders. And so we mind all of our properties and we mind all of our business. So we've done a few evictions. There's not been a lot because you know what? We just do good business. We pick good people to do good business with. So we don't have a lot of turnover. We know we have, like Debbie and I got like 40 rentals, right? So we have 40 rentals, but we also don't have a lot of turnover because we're not slumlords. We're not scum lords. We're the high-end landlords that want to take care of people. We want to do good, and we tell people right up front that conversation. We had that conversation with them before they even get into our properties. Okay, so the owner of the property is my name, William. I know you didn't know my name was William, but my real name is William Hunter Pascal. So I always go by William Pascal because I don't want people Googling Hunter Pascal. If you want to Google Hunter Pascal, you'll see why somebody like this might not do business with me if I give them my real name. So it's always William Pascal. Now, not that it's a bad thing that you Google Hunter Pascal. It's just you're seeing so much stuff out there that people say, this guy's making a ton of money. Let's see if he'll give us a discount. And that happened at this table without them really knowing who I was. Maybe not, I don't know. But if they Google my company's name, the trustee, that might be a different story. So anyway, here we go. Here's a residential lease, and you can have a copy of these leases if you want one. Just got to give us your email so we can email it to you, and so we can get this stuff to you. Yes, you can get this stuff online for free all over the world, but are they using it, or are they just giving it to you so they can get your email? We're using it. Remember, I don't give you anything, share anything, do anything if I'm not already doing it, making it happen. So you need to use people that are using correct documentation for the time, for the needs and all that. So here we go. So now, remember, $9,500 on the first year, right? $9,500 on the first 12 months. Now we're on a 24-month lease. Now we're collecting, if you see there, we're collecting, let's see how I get this thing to work. We're collecting right here $876 a month, okay? That's what we're collecting. Remember, my payment is what? $1,000 a month, some thousand and a change. So let's just say I'm making $875 a month, okay? So now for the next 12 months, 10 months is $875, right? So now you're looking at about 12 grand a year, right? Is that about right? I don't know how to do that math real quick. I don't want to do it real quick, and I didn't pre-do it. So whatever that number is, 875 times 12, that's the money that we'll be putting into our pocket because we're paying out 1,000 on this deal. That's the money, the spread. Remember I talked about yield spread with the banks? Well, if you can get a yield spread like this, you're doing really good. $875 a month. I don't know about you, but who sits around and wakes and goes to bed, wakes up and collects $875 a month and does absolutely nothing? That's exactly what we're doing here. We're absolutely doing nothing at this point because now it's all their property. It's all their responsibility. The toilet breaks, the sink breaks, the roof down, whatever happens in that property is all on them. They don't call me. They call somebody else with a license that comes out and fixes whatever's needed because they have to, okay? So this is the residential lease agreement. Now, again, write those numbers down, 875 times 12, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do on the second year of this property. So security deposit. So Hunter, why don't you have a security deposit here? Because it is in the contract price. So at this point, if they default on this lease, I keep their security deposit, which is zero, right? I have to evict them on my own cost because I'm the one. They're responsible for the utilities. They're responsible for the occupancy of the property. We have their names put in here, but we've got it whited out to protect the innocent. They're responsible for pest control. They're responsible for all the local permitting and laws and everything goes on, HOA, all that good stuff. They're responsible for the condition as is. They're getting it as is, and they're accepting it as is, except they asked me before they signed, before they gave me this large check I'm going to show you in a minute, they asked me, can they change out all the carpet in the house because they don't like carpet? And I hesitated for a second. I said, look, you're trying to buy this. To myself, I'm thinking they're trying to buy this. I don't want them putting money on other expenses of the property that's not going to be good for them, right? What does that mean? That means that if they spend a bunch of other money, they may not be able to finance this house. And the contract, as you saw, this lease is only for how many months? 24 months, right here. 24 months. They need to be refinanced out of this property in 24 months. We give the short fuse. 24 months is not a short fuse, by the way. And 24 months, I'll make 20 grand. Also, not will I only make the 20 grand in interest, in principal, but I'm also reducing my mortgage payment. Remember, this mortgage has been around a little while. So every month, $1,000 is paid. The principal balance comes down the mortgage, and I'll show you the price point here in a minute. So I don't want to get you confused, but again, here it is, condition that it is, vehicles, they got to put the vehicles where they're supposed to be parked, driveway only. Simon subletting, they can't let or sign up to anybody else. Liability, they're responsible for the property, they're responsible for liability insurance. Owner is insuring interest in the property, nor will the owner be liable for any acts, damage, or God. So I had to tell them, look, you have to get your own physical content insurance, which is about $300 a year. You can get rental insurance for the contents of your property, which we don't provide that. We're only protecting the home itself. Now, invalid clauses. Should any provision of this lease be found invalid, enforceable by the fullest extent of the law, entire agreement. This is the entire agreement. Violation of terms, they'll lose and waive their right to trial. And they are moving in on Halloween. They're going to move in on Halloween. Very interesting. I don't know if I'd want to move in on Halloween. There's going to be a lot of crazy stuff going on Halloween. But here's what's going on. Halloween is this coming week, right? Well, also, they don't want the appliances that are there. So I just put in a new stove that we've had, not a new one, brand new, but put in a new stove. So the stove, refrigerator, dishwasher, microwave, they're putting all stainless in. They're taking the other stuff out. I said, you know what? They wanted me to buy it. I said, I don't want to buy it. Why don't you just go ahead and do whatever you want with it, sell it, whatever, And so somebody might say, well, Hunter, if they leave in a month or two, they're leaving you with no appliances because they're probably going to take theirs with them. Wait till you see the check I got, and you'll see why I don't really care if they leave tomorrow. I don't really care. They have a lease agreement that says they need to be in there for 24 months. Well, I could go after $45,000 right here if I wanted to, if it was worth it. It's never been really worth it, but I've met these people. They're genuine people. They're very nice people. They just had some hard times come upon them, and I'll tell you about it. Back in 2008, like everybody else, they had a hard time in Miami, so they lost a couple properties. They moved out of state. Now they moved back in state, and they said, "This is where we want to live, and this is the opportunity that we found you have. So we'd like to take you up on it." And I said, "Okay." All right, so here we are. Now we did the residential lease first, and then we do a standard purchase and sale agreement second. Why do I do that? Because if they fail on the lease part of it, they fail on this part of it, and this is null and void. This becomes null and void. Okay? Now that's all explained in writing. It's not just something I say, it's in writing in our contracts. All right? So here's what's happening. They brought me a check yesterday for $35,000 plus the first month's rent because they're renting or paying. It's up front. They're paying it. They got to pay before they stay, right? So now they're up front in payment. I like that. They're in advance. So now I've got $35,000. That's right, guys. I got a $35,000 check plus $1,800. So now where am I at in the game, right? So now I'm $35,000 ahead. Let's just say 30,000 ahead. Maybe there's $5,000 of whatever there for the first year. It's not though. They didn't cost me anything. I'm just telling you, I got a $35,000 check plus 1876 or whatever the number was, 1875 for the first payment. Out of my pocket, 10 grand. Okay, 10 grand out of my pocket. $35,000 back into my pocket, plus I got $10,000 in the first year's rent into my pocket. So now I'm kind of breaking even on the cost. So the $35,000 is my check. There's a lot of people that do not make $35,000 in a year, and that's true. I mean, there's just a lot of people that don't, and unfortunately, there's a lot more people nowadays with this going on. They might be making more because the government's giving them money, but you know what? That stuff's going to stop. You're not going to keep making $800 a month plus 600 plus this plus that. You're not going to keep making that. That's all going away. November, December, that's going to go away. It's got to. Can't keep doing it. Can't keep living off borrowed money. Can't keep living off printed money. Got to quit printing money. We've got to quit giving it away. I understand it's hard times. Everybody's got the same hard time. You got to learn to pivot, shift, or move. Pivot, shift, or move. You got to do it. You either got to be retrained, you got to pivot where you're at, you got to shift into something else, or you got to move completely out of what you're doing into something else. And I'm seeing it happen every day. People are coming up with new ideas, new trainings, new business opportunities, new all kinds of stuff, right? You can go get groceries for people that don't want to leave their house. We went to North Carolina. My aunt and uncle don't even want to leave their house. They haven't been to a grocery store or been to a food store or anywhere for a long time. They don't want to do it. I don't blame them. If they don't want to go, they don't have to go. They can have everybody cater to them. And it's really not that expensive to do it. Matter of fact, it might be less expensive. All right. So here was a little holding sticking point right here. What does that say? Right? Can you read that? What does that say? What does this one say? Can you read that? Uh-oh. It ain't gonna let me draw it. That's right. Buyer pays all closing costs. When we got to this point, I got a little like a frown from the buyer. And I said, look, we're giving you an opportunity to buy this house for $239,000. This price right here will never change. It won't go up. It won't go down. Okay. No matter what the market does, this price stays the same, right? This money is mine forever, right? Buyer pays all closing costs. That means when we close, when they buy, when they refinance, or when they sell. So when he said something to me about this right here, I said, look, Mr. Buyer, you have the opportunity to buy this property right now with no credit check. All you had to do is show me the ability to repay, show me the money you had deposited on, and we'll put you in this house at a payment you can afford, right? And they agreed yes. Also, Mr. Buyer, if the market keeps going up or the market keeps going up and this goes to 250 or 260, guess what? You have the opportunity to sell this house and keep the difference between the 240 and the 260 that you sell it at. So this doesn't matter here. And all the worries went away. And that's true. They have the right or the option to sell this property, pay it off anytime. They only owe 204, right? But whatever they sell it for above the 239, they get to keep and put in their pocket. Is that a good deal? I think it's a fair deal. I mean, they had their interest in it. They obligated to it. They should be able to reap the rewards, right? And this is perfect how we do it. Payment of expenses. It talks about the process. If you don't pay, there's no proration. Title evidence. Survey. There's no survey. We don't pay for it. They want a survey. They can get it. Title evidence. They'll pay for it. It's closing in our title company, our attorneys. Title examination. Time for closing. Here it is. Again, 2 years. It was 2 years on the lease agreement, and it's 2 years on the contract. Okay, 2 years on the lease, 2 years on the contract, and that's the timeline we give them. Now, I tell them, look, if you don't close in 2 years, you may lose the property. And they kind of looked around, and I said, but if you're making your $1,875 a month every month, and you're not giving me a hard time or my office hard time or staff a hard time, we'll renew it again. Yeah, we have the opportunity. We have the option to renew it again. Now, the purchase price could change, but I'm the type of guy that says, don't worry about it. You're locked in. If you're making payments on it, it's kind of like a mortgage. It's kind of like a mortgage, but it's not. I don't have to foreclose. It's a lease agreement. And if you don't pay your lease, we take the property back and all of the documents are null and void. That's the way it is. So when I told them that they were good boys and girls, they could stay in the property for another 2-year term and they get financed. But they're going to have to show me that why they couldn't get financed, what their problems and struggles are, and let us help you. Because I told them your goal is to get that $1,875 payment down to $1,000 a month or $1,500 or whatever it is. And the only way you're going to do that is get it refinanced, refinance or sell the house. So they'd have to get it refinanced, and we can help them get refinanced so we can show them the $35,000 down. We can show them the $1,800 a month they've been paying for 2 years, and should be no lender with a challenge with that. They have credit scores right now, 6+, 600+. I know some financiers out there watching this right now said, oh, Hunter, I could have got them financed. But I said, oh, Mr. Financee, I don't want to get them financed right now. Right? I got a golden goose laying golden eggs every month, $875 a month. I'm thinking about going out and buying my new truck now. See, I can do that. I created this. I created the payment, the excess of funds. Now I can go out and buy whatever I want. I could go rent a Lamborghini. I could go lease a Lamborghini. I could go lease a Ferrari. Any of those cars, I could go lease if I wanted to. But why? I think it's a waste of money. Right? I don't want to drive around an expensive car and be worried about scratching it or being worried about somebody hitting it and all that junk. And yeah, they're fun, they're fast. I mean, I'll rent one and go blow it out once in a while, but I'm not gonna get into a lease and be driving around it all the time. It's not practical for me. For me, I like a truck. I'm a truck man. I like my trucks. Matter of fact, I'm looking at the 2021 Toyota Tundra. That's what I drive. Right now I got a 2015, so it's time to upgrade, right? I had a 2015 brand new, paid for, been paid for. and I'm ready to move up. Okay, occupancy. Seller represents there are no other parties. Default attorney fees. It's going to be on them. There really not be agreement. The privileged party will be entitled to recover all costs, including reasonable attorney fees. But, and the other thing, it says lease, you can't hire an attorney. You're a default of your lease. I mean, you can't tell not people to protect their interests, but you know what? The documents are pretty solid. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's in simple English. It's in layman's term, not attorney terms. Buyer is buying the property as is condition with no warranty set or implied. Buyer's 1876 payments will be evidenced by a lease agreement, which you talked about. C, buyer is responsible for all HOA dues. Buyer is responsible for all maintenance and repairs of the property. The contract becomes null and void. This contract becomes null and void if the buyer defaults on the lease agreement, and all monies paid in lease and contract will be non-refundable. That's it. And that's how simple it is. Again, HP Investment Group Inc. is trustee, is the seller. I'm the seller for the company. I am the personal representative for the trustee. So I can sign, I can seal, I can deliver. So that's the key right there. So now you've seen it, right? Now you understand what we're going to make. So we got 35,000, right? 1 year's wages for lots of people, especially now. And also 10.5 in the end. So I'll be collecting 45,500 on this one deal. This one deal, $45,500, collecting money. It's like mailbox money, new truck money, whatever I want to do. I can go out and buy a new truck if I want now, and make payments on it and not have to worry about it. That's the kind of deals that we do in the pre-foreclosure business. This is pre-foreclosure advantageous. This is pre-foreclosure deals that come through the pipeline like this. Yes, we negotiate short sales is our niche, but also in the short sale field, in the digital marketing and the direct mail marketing, which I believe in still. I'm old school. I get it. This is the type of deals you can get. I've got a bunch of calls I got to do today. I just love doing them. You know what? I sit around the office. There's not a whole lot to do. So I like getting on the phone and doing phone calls and recording them and understanding, getting better, tweaking, you know, having conversations, learning every day. And that's what I do. That's my training. It's personal and I love it. It's a blast. Matter of fact, Mike down in Boca Raton said he loves talking to sellers, and it's just awesome to him. So now let's look at the property. Let me show you what we're dealing with. Now, we don't always deal with ugly properties, guys. This is not an ugly property. This is a brand new home. I didn't show you this last week because I wasn't prepped for it, because I really wasn't even going to show you the contracts. And but I got excited about it because I knew it was happening, and I knew it was going to happen because I put it out in the universe. Remember, what comes out of your mouth goes in your pocket. So you got to be positive on these things. Don't think about all the negative stuff that can happen, because we already have it taken care of for you in our contracts, in our conversation pieces with homeowners and sellers and all that. So here's the property, just so you get a look at it. And back screen porch, backyard. Here's the kitchen area, living room area. We didn't even change out the carpet. They're going to replace all that carpet, all this carpet right here. They're going to replace all this and all the carpets in the other 4 rooms. And they're going to put vinyl plank down. So they're going to put even better than what's there, because they don't like carpet. And I said, by all means, change the carpet. No problem. I don't have a problem. Just make sure it's done professionally. Send us pictures and let us see it along the way. Here's the kitchen, simple kitchen. But again, this is a $240,000 house all day long, maybe $250 at this point. It's got a nice stove, microwave, dishwasher, and they're black. So they're putting stainless in. They don't want this. They don't want the black. So they're taking all this out. And the refrigerator's on the other side. I don't know if I got a picture of the refrigerator. It doesn't look like it. Here is the master bedroom with, yeah, they got some ceilings. You got the crown in the ceiling. What do they call this? I forgot what they call it now. Dang it, forgot what they call that. But anyway, here's the backyard, and roof's good, architecture single. This house is only about 5-6 years old. And lo and behold, here's the payday right here, $36,876. When did I get this check? I got this check yesterday. So this is fresh, new stuff. Who's it made out to? HP Investment Group, Inc., because they're the trustee. They don't make it out to me. I'm just the beneficiary of the trust. So this goes into HP Investment Group, Inc.'s pocket. And do we have to pay taxes on this? Yeah, you got to pay taxes on this. So what? I'd like to do about 10 of these a month, right? That would be sweet. 10 a month, be nice. But here you go, 114 no name key trust. That's where the check's going to. It's who it's for. It's $35,000 plus the first month rent. So now I got $36,876 plus 11 more months, unless they refinance and pay me off, which I kind of think they won't. But here's what something happened. The buyer wanted to know if there was enough room for a pool in the backyard. And I said, well, pool for the backyard. I took a deep breath and I says, look, our whole goal is to get me out of the picture. Our whole goal is for you guys to close on this completely and get me out of the picture. If you build a pool, how much money is that going to cost? And maybe I didn't get enough money down because you still have more money, because a pool is about $20, $30, $40,000 these days, depending on the size. Now they ain't going to be able to put some big massive, because that backyard's not that big, right? So, I mean, they're not going to put that much pool in this area, but I just kind of suggested to them that, you know what, I would rather you close on the deal, make sure it's yours before you go enhancing the property even more than what you're doing when you bought it. Because they're buying it on a rent to own basis or contract for deed or subject to, however you want to call those names. And basically the property is going to stay in our trust. It's not transferring nowhere. So that means I don't have to foreclose. I just have to evict. And with this kind of money, you know, you have to, it depends on the judges, you know, and people get worried about that. We haven't had to evict too many people that gave us $30,000 or more on one transaction, because they go through, they fulfill it. We did a bunch of these in Indiana with my buddy Wayne Scheffner, who I had on the show a while back. About 4 years ago, I did a bunch of loans in Indiana, just like this, for investors who were buying properties 50% down. We would put up the other 50%, and then 3 years, we gave them a 3-year term. All these people closed on all those deals. So I believe this will be closing soon, and within a year or so. I'd rather go at least another year, because remember, every month they make a payment, my principal comes down, my equity goes up. So when I cash out, so let's talk about that. Now, we talked about how much money that we have in the property. I'm going to give it a hard guess at 185. We're selling it for 239. We're going to make $54,000 on the back end of this thing. That's right. Now that is more than people make in a year. We're going to make $54,000. So when they cash out at 239, my 185, that's a minimum. Remember, my principal is going down, my equity is going up. And if they close tomorrow, we're going to make $54,000 plus this 10,000. So we're being at about $64,000, $65,000. But if they keep going, the farther they take it out, the more money we make. You know, the less they get, the less they're going to get less they're going to have to pay, because they're paying 202. No, the more they're going to have to pay. If they can keep letting this go, they're going to keep paying, you know, $1,875 a month. And the more they pay, and the reason we do that, the reason we ask them, here's the conversation though. Mr. Buyer, when somebody calls you and you have a property on the market like this, use these terminologies. This is pretty good. This has really worked out well for me. I say, and I've trained Michelle to do this, because Michelle, you know, was kind of hesitant because she didn't really quite understand this side of the game. And I said, Michelle, here's how it works. It's we're working off an 1875 payment. That's what we want, with a qualified deposit. That was our ad. How would you like to buy a home for 1875 with a qualified deposit? So when they called, we said, what is your deposit you can put down? Remember, we had 2 buyers on this, by the way, and we countered both of them. And this one brought in 35,000 instead of 30,000. So we went with them, and they said they can afford the 1875 a month. So we really went with them. So we took them over the other people. And that's the conversation. You talk about deposit and you talk about monthly. You don't talk about interest and you don't really talk about price. They did bring up the conversation about what is the price, and we had the price is a little higher than what the market will exceed today. So we can get a little bit more money for the properties, right? We get more deposit down and we get more monthly payment. So that's the conversation I have with them. And I have that call recorded. Again, I said that earlier. We have the call recorded. If you want to get on that call and you want to listen how I close these people and how we got to this number right here, then I suggest you drop your email so we can get it to you. So actually you can get to the site so you can see it. And I think that's our VIP section. So we're gonna have to work something out for you. But this is how we do the process. This is how we make it happen. This is how we get the golden goose to lay the golden egg every month. So now what can we do? I can go on vacation. I can buy me a truck. I can buy stuff for my wife. My wife, she doesn't like a lot of jewelry, so she likes vacations. You know, she likes personal time, fun time with me, her husband, and that's awesome to me. I love doing that as well. Matter of fact, we couldn't travel this year because of COVID as much. We've gone little things here and there, and we're still trying to get some things organized before the end of the year because we got the itch. And once you get the itch of travel, it's hard to get rid of it. So we want to make sure we keep up our itching and our traveling. And I hope you do too. I hope you keep your deals up. I hope you make tons of money just like this one. And if you want to know how to take this $36,000, go to Chase Bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, whatever your bank is, you know, and take it to them and take me a picture of it and show it to them. I'd love to show you how to do this stuff. And I'd love for you to be on our team. So look forward to you guys giving some good information. I hope there's a lot of questions on here. We didn't even ask about questions, but if you want to have a question about any of this stuff, no problem. Go ahead and put it on there. I'll answer in the thread after I get off here, and we'll do some training on there. Hope you have an awesome week. See you. Don't forget about Foreclosure Friday. We do that on Friday at 3 o'clock as well. I don't even know what's going on Friday. I believe I'm looking at another couple of houses. So yeah, it's busy, guys. And there's no reason why you shouldn't be in the game. This is the best time to be in real estate right now through all the election, through all the chaos. Chaos creates cash. So remember that. So let's get on board. Let's use my hunterisms. Let's go down and look at some of the hunterisms. We'll put them out there. Remember, what comes out of your mouth goes in your pocket. And what a beautiful day, USA. Let's make America great again with this kind of checks. And we'll be on seeing you on Friday. This is Hunter Pascal. I'm your man. Talk to you soon. Have an awesome day. We'll see you Friday.